Now sit back, relax, and enjoy the Music Minute.
About bass, but I do know that you can't make a living selling big trombone. No, sir. Mandolin picks, perhaps, here and there a few smart.
No, the fellow sells bands, boys bands. I don't know how he does it, but he lives out in Kings and he does it and he starts things down. And when the man dances, certain boys wear the piper pays him. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. When the man dances, certain boys wear the piper pays him. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
But he doesn't know the territory.
River City, just crossed state line to Iowa. River City, population 2,212. Born!
All right, if you're all through, I'll tell you about Harold Hill.
You know Harold Hill.
Never seen him in my life, but I know this much. He's given every one of us a black eye. After he's worked the town over, the next salesman to arrive gets immediately tarred and feathered and rode out to the city limits on a rail.
But why should he get rode out of town on a rail?
Because in order to sell band instruments and instruction books and uniforms, he has to guarantee to teach them kids how to play and form them kids into a band with himself as the leader.
Sure like to be around and catch up with that fella.
Yeah, well, it won't be on this trip. Not in Iowa. Even the great Professor Hill couldn't sound them neck boat guys out here.
Born!
Gentlemen, you intrigue me. I think I'll give Iowa a try.
Don't believe I caught your name.
I don't believe I dropped it.
We can be cold as we're falling thermometers in December if you ask about our weather in July. And we're so by yet stubborn we can stand touching noses for a week at a time and never see eye to eye. But what the heck? You're welcome. Join us at the picnic. You can have your fill of all the food you bring yourself. You really ought to give Iowa a try.
Good morning, Madison.
It is. You want to run
And there I was, in the Madison Hospital, and nobody come to see me. Cousin Will never come, Aunt Bertha never come. Your Aunt Bertha's dead. She wouldn't have come anyway.
We can be cold as our falling thermometers in December if you ask about our weather in July. And we're so by and stubborn we can stand touching noses for a week at a time and never see eye to eye. But we'll give you our shirt and a bag to go with it if your crop should happen to die.
So what the heck? You're welcome. Glad to have you with us.
Even though we may not ever mention it again, you really ought to give Iowa, Hawkeye, Iowa, Dubuque, Des Moines, Davenport, Marshalltown, Mason City, Cuba, and Clear Lake. Ought to give Iowa a try.
Mr. Squires, yes. I'm interested in a rig for Sunday, if you could accommodate me.
Well, then you ought to see the man in charge of hiring rigs, who is late, as usual. Hey, Gregory,
Marcellus!
you old son of a gun, what is... But Greg,
Professor Hill's the name. Harold Hill.
but Greg, what are you doing here? Why didn't let me know you was coming?
I didn't know I was myself. Besides, how was I supposed to know you would end up in a little tank town like this? You were a pretty big slicker back when you were in business with me.
Too many close shaves the way you were. Besides, I got me a nice comfortable girl, Ethel Toffelmeyer, boss's niece.
Gone legitimate, huh? I knew you'd come to no good.
So what's the new pitch? You're not back in the band business. I heard he was in steam automobiles.
I was.
What happened?
Someone actually invented one.
No.
Now give me the lowdown here, Mars.
You'll never get anywhere in the band business with these stubborn Iowans, Greg. Besides, we've got a stuck-up music teacher who will expose you before you get your grip unpacked.
Male or female?
Music teacher? She's a librarian. Female.
Perfect. That's what I wanted to hear. If she passes by, point her out to me.
I will. How are you gonna start the pitch?
Same old way. First step, keep that music teacher off balance, and then, my next step, we're going to get your town out of the serious trouble it is in.
River City isn't in any trouble.
Then I have to create some. I have to create a desperate need for a boys band. You remember. Now, what's new around here? What can I use?
Nothing. Except the billiard parlors just put in a new pool table.
They never had a pool table here?
No, only billiards.
That'll do. Either you're closing your eye to a situation you don't wish to acknowledge, or you're not aware of the caliber of disaster indicated by the presence of a pool table in your community. Well, you got trouble, my friend. Right here, I say trouble right here in River City. Why, sure, but the players certainly mine. You try to say it, boys, mighty try to say it. I consider that the hours I spend with the cue in my hand are golden. Help me cultivate horse sense with a cool head and a keen eye. Now, friends, let me tell you what I mean. You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pockets in the table. Pockets mark the difference between a gentleman and a bum with a capital B, and that rhymes with king. That stands for cool. Now I know all you folks are the right kind of parents. I'm gonna be perfectly frank. Would you like to know what kind of conversation goes up loafing around that hallway, trying out Bebo, trying out Cubits, trying out tailor-mades like cigarette fiends, and bragging all about how they're gonna cover up a telltale breathless sense in one fine night that you leave pool hall heading to dance in the armory, libertine men, scarlet women, and ragtime shade with you, and drag your son or daughter in the arms of the jungle in instant mass hysteria. Friends, the idle brain is the devil's playground. Trouble!
Oh, we got trouble!
Right here in River City!
Right here, River City!
Capital T that rhymes with P, that stands for pool.
That stands for pool!
We certainly got trouble!
We surely got trouble!
Right here in River City!
Right here!
Gotta figure out a way to the young ones' moral after school.
Our children's gonna have trouble.
Mothers, River City, heed the warning before it's too late. Watch the telltale signs of corruption. The moment your son leaves the house, does he rebuckle his knickerbockers below the knee? Are certain words giving into his conversation? Words like swell and so's your old man. If so, my friends, let me tell you. You got trouble!
Oh, we got trouble!
Right here in River City!
Right here, River City!
Capital T now rhymes with P, and that stands for pool!
That stands for pool!
We surely got trouble!
We surely got trouble!
Right here in River City!
Right here!
With a T!
Capital T!
Alright, with P!
That rhymes with P!
That stands for pool!
That stands for pool!
Did you drop your...
No.
Didn't I meet you in?
No.
I'll only be in town a short while.
Good.
Hello, Mama.
Hello, dear.
Keep on, Amaryllis. I'll be there in a minute. Mama, a man with a suitcase has been following me all over town.
Oh, who?
I never saw him before.
Did he say anything?
He tried.
Did you say anything?
Well, of course not. All right, now your exercises. So, do, la, re, si, mi, a little slower, and please keep the fingers curved as nice and high as you possibly can. Don't get faster here.
If you don't mind my saying so, it wouldn't have hurt you to find out what the gentleman wanted.
Oh, I know what the gentleman wanted.
What, dear?
You'll find it in Balzac.
Excuse me for living, but I've never read it.
Neither is anyone else in this town.
There you go again with that same old comment about the mentality of River City people and taking it all too much to heart.
Now, Mama, as long as the Madison Public Library was entrusted to me for the purpose of improving River City's cultural level, I can't help my concern that the ladies of River City keep ignoring all my counsel and advice.
Darling, when a woman's got a husband and got time, why should you take advice from you? Even if you can't prove all like in Shakespeare and no mother husband.
Mama, if you don't mind me saying so, you have the bad habit of changing every subject.
I hope you change the subject now from my bad stranger.
A stranger.
The suitcase, maybe your very last one.
Mama, do you think I'd allow a common masher now? Really, Mama, I and my standards for men are concerned that I have no attention.
I know all about your standards if you don't mind my saying so. There's not a man alive who's supposed to measure mountains and a full body take out the west you can go figure yourself. I don't understand imagination you have 7 minutes in your library full of books.
Well, that isn't the best I've ever heard.
Thank you. Can I have a drink, please?
May I have...
May I have a drink, please?
Yes, dear.
Is that a way to walk in the house?
Hello.
That won't do at all. And a kiss from my boy. That lady over there is your sister, Mom.
Hello, Winthrop.
Amaryllis asked you to a party? Are you going or aren't you?
No. He wants Amber.
No, thank you.
You know the little girl's name.
He wants Amaryllis because of the S, because of his lisp. He's ashamed.
You know all about his lisp, Amaryllis. Well, Winthrop.
Oh, Betty won't say it.
No, thank you, Amaryllis.
Amaryllis. Amaryllis. Why does he get so mad at people? Just because he lisps?
It's not just because he lisps. That's just part of it, Amaryllis.
Whoa, what's the other part?
Never mind, dear. It's just that he never talks very much.
Really? Not even to you and your mother?
No, dear. We all have to be a little patient.
I'm patient, even though he doesn't ever talk to me. But I talk to him every night. I say goodnight to him on the evening star. You have to do it the very second you see it, too, or it doesn't count. Good night, my Winthrop. Good night. Sleep tight.
There, darling. You have lots of time. If not Winthrop, there will be someone else.
Never. I'll end up an old maid like you.
For the time being, just say good night, my someone. You can put the name in when the right someone comes along.
All right. Better than nothing.
Yes, it is. Now you can play your crosshand piece.
Now I may go play my cross.
Good night, my someone. Good night, my love. Sleep tight, my someone. Sleep tight, my love. Our star is shining its brightest light. For good night, my love. For good night. Sweet dreams be yours, dear. Dreams there be. Sweet dreams to Henry. To me. I wish they may, and I wish they might. Now good night, my someone. Good night. Good night.
Thy manners may tear and me tremble when borne by the red, white, and blue.
I'm sure we're all grateful to my wife, Eulalie McKechnie Shin, for leading the singing. As mayor of River City, I welcome you River City citizens to the 4th of July exercises set up for the indoors here in Madison Gymnasium on account of the weather. 4 score! The members of the school board will now present a patriotic tableau. Oh, the members of the school board will not present a patriotic tableau. Some disagreement about costumes, I suppose? Instead, the River City Girls Historical Society will present a spectacle, my wife! In which my wife, Eulalie McKechnie Shin, will take a leading part.
Tommy Giles out and leave about you.
Mr. Shin will recover. The Payne's fireworks spectacle, last day of Pontiac, will continue providing the rain stops by 9:30.
How can it be canceled? Fair. Sure did, Ewart. That's one we prepared for a storm.
The Gazette is accurate most of the time, and you know it, JC.
You wouldn't last very long in the banking business being accurate most of the time. Now would you?
Oh my
Oh,
God.
Jeffrey, we didn't know I know the score would stop bickering in public.
All in the world that I said was
Never mind.
We heard there's a pool table in town.
Yeah, that's what I heard.
Now just a minute.
Is it a pool table or isn't it?
Will you allow me to get on with the exercises?
We don't want any more exercises till we get this pool table matter settled.
Let's protect our children.
Yeah!
Resist any corruption.
Yeah!
Fight the devil and keep our young boys pure.
Yeah!
Can I have your attention, please? Attention, please. I can deal with this troubled friend with the wave of my hand, this very hand. Please observe me, if you will. I'm Professor Harold Hill, and I'm here to organize the River City Boys Men. Oh, think my friends haven't any pool table ever hoped to compete with gold trombone. Rah, rah, rah-da-da-da-da-rah-rah. Remember, my friends, what a handful of trumpet players did to the famous fabled walls of Jericho. Billiard parlor walls come tumbling down. Oh, a band don't do it, my friends. Oh, yes, I mean a boys band. Do you hear me? I say River City's gotta have a boys band, and I mean she needs them today. Well, Professor Harold Hill's on hand, and River City's gonna have her boys band. As Sir Lloyd and Little Green Apples, that band's gonna be in uniform. Johnny, Willie, Teddy, Fred. And you'll see the glitter of crashing cymbals, and you'll hear the thunder of rolling drums, and the shimmer of trumpets. You'll feel something akin to the electric thrill I once enjoyed when Gilmore, Liberati, Pat Conway, Ray Torre, W.C. Handy, and John Philip Sousa all came to town on the very same historic day. "76 trombones led the big parade, with 110 cornets close at hand. They were followed by rows and rows of the finest virtuosos, the cream of every famous band. 76 trombones caught the morning sun, with 110 cornets right behind. There were more than 1,000 reeds springing up like weeds. There were horns of every shape and kind. There were copper-bottomed timpani and horse platoons, thundering, thundering all along the wing. Double bell euphoniums and big bassoons, each bassoon having its big fat say. There were 50 mounted cannons in the battery, thundering, thundering louder than before. Clarinets of every size and trumpeters who would improvise a full octave higher than the sky.
make an example of him. Ringleader, you know. The gang does what he does.
Cecil, please let me go. You wild kid, ya? Tagging down Main Street after my oldest girl last Sunday?
I wasn't either tagging.
Don't just
Walking together.
don't you contradict me. You watch your phraseology, young man. I know what you're doing. My little Gracie's seeing ya. Now you stay away from my oldest girl. You're here from me till who laid the rails. Hill, I'll talk to you Monday morning about this band thing. 10 o'clock sharp. Man, I want that man's credentials.
Constable, I'll be responsible for the boy.
You don't know this kid. He's tough, and he's got his gang waiting outside.
Now, Constable, I'll show you how to bring up any gang. Oh, young lady, oh, miss, what's your name?
Zanita, I didn't have any idea you was beckoning me. Egads.
Zanita, do you know Tommy Gillis?
Well,
Tommy, this is Anita. Escort this young lady home by way of the candy kitchen.
Yes, sir. Do I have to?
You have to.
Yes, sir.
yeah.
Professor, you're a pretty bright young fellow. You made a couple mistakes, though.
Oh?
The mayor happens to own the billiard parlor and that new pool table.
Oh. What was the other mistake?
That's Anita. She's the mayor's oldest girl.
Oh.
Just a minute, Professor Hill. We'd like to have your credentials for the school board. Academic certificates.
Nothing of the kind.
Letters and papers.
Make him put a bond!
What am I hearing? Say ice cream.
Ice cream. I don't say. That's what you're trying to...
All right, talk then.
Down here.
Ice cream.
Talk slow.
Ice cream.
See? He's only
Stay talking. Now you.
Now you, sir.
Ice cream.
Ladies, from now on, you'll never see one of those men without the other three.
Oh, Professor, you're wrong. Why, they've hated each other for 15 years.
Ice cream.
How can there be
Any sincere? Aren't we sincerely
In love.
Oh, we're in love.
I don't suppose you live alone or anything.
No.
I have some wonderful cameras over the hotel if you...
Mr. Hill.
Professor Hill.
Professor of what? At what college do they give a degree for annoying women on the street like a Saturday night rowdy at a public dance hall?
I wouldn't know. I'm a conservatory man myself. Gary, Indiana, gold medal, class of odd 5.
Even should that happen to be true, does that give you the right to follow me around wherever I go? Another thing, Mr. Hill, I'm not as easily mesmerized or hoodwinked as some people in this town, and I think it only fair to warn you that I have a shelf full of reference books in there which may very well give me some interesting information about you.
Hey, Gregory,
Hi, Mars. Don't call me Greg.
how do you make out with the music teacher?
Scrumptious. Ate out of my hand the minute I tipped my hat.
She did? Boy, did you cut a swath tonight. For a minute, even I thought you knew something about leading the band. Just like when you used to imitate that band fellow back in Joplin.
All kid stuff. I'm in rare form these days, son. You just keep your eye on me for the next 4 weeks.
4 weeks? It only used to take 10 days for the instruments to arrive.
It still does, but it takes 4 weeks for the uniforms.
Oh no, Greg, you haven't had uniforms.
Uniforms and instruction books.
Instruction books? But you can't even pass yourself off as a music professor. I mean, not for any 4 weeks.
Mars.
You don't know one note from another.
I have a revolutionary new method called the Think System, where you don't bother with notes.
But in 4 weeks, people will want to hear the music. You'll have to lead a band.
But when the uniforms arrive, they forget everything else, at least long enough for me to collect and leave. This is a refined operation, son. And I've got to tie him down to the last wave of the brakeman's hand on the last train out of town. Now, Mr. Washburn, if you'll excuse me.
Oh, Professor Hill, we're all agog. Simply agog.
On the cabby.
Everyone's so excited about the band.
I'm Ethel Toffenmeyer. And this is Mrs. Squires, Miss Hicks, and of course you remember Eulalie McKechnie's shit. Isn't it exciting, Eulalie?
Oh, I couldn't say. Oh no, I could not say at this time. My husband will wish to investigate, I'm sure. And naturally, I'm reticent. Oh yes, I'm reticent.
Of course, Mrs. Shin, I understand. But you see, part of my music plans to include a committee on the dance and... No, wait. Do that again, Mrs. Shin. Your foot that we wasted just now.
Oh, well, I have a button there that bothers.
Oh, what grace! What natural flow of rhythm! What expression of line and movement!
Mr. Hill!
You must accept the chairmanship for the ladies' auxiliary in the classic dance, mustn't you, ladies?
You have to.
Every move you make, Mrs. Shin, bespeaks the Sart. Will you? Say yes, Mrs. Shin.
You laid the McKechnie Shin, and I...
Then you accept?
Yes, indeed. And I would like to say...
Thank you. Now, the young lady who plays the piano, Marion Peru, I believe. After all, she's the librarian.
Pick a little, talk a little, pick a little, talk a little, tick, 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 talk a lot, pick a little more. Pick a little, talk a little, pick a little, talk a little, tick, 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 talk a lot, pick a little more. Pick a little, talk a little, pick a little, talk a little, tick, 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 talk a lot, pick a little more. Pick a little, talk a little, pick a little, talk a little, tick, 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 tick.
Professor, her kind of woman doesn't belong on anything. Of course I shouldn't tell you that she application 30 books.
30 books.
Pick a little, talk a little, pick a little, talk a little,
Traveling.
balls.
And Professor, of course I shouldn't tell you.
Oh,
But
the man on my street, let me tell.
Stop!
I'll tell. She made brazen overtures to a man who had no friend in this town till she came. Old Miser Madison.
Miser Madison? Madison Gymnasium? Madison Picnic Park? Madison Hospital? That Miser Madison?
Exactly. And who do you think he was anyway?
Well, I should say, show off. Get that from the library too, didn't he?
That's just it. When he died, he left the library building to the city, but he left all the books to her.
She was seen going and coming from his place.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. That woman made brazen
Pick a little, talk a little, pick a little, talk a little,
The gilt edge here is deep. She had a golden glint in her eye and a silver voice with a carpet ring. Just melt it down and you'll reveal a lump of lead as lotus seal here, where a woman's heart should be.
Left River City, the library building, but he left all the books to her.
Chaucer.
Traveling.
Stop right there, sir. We need your credentials.
Of course. I'm just what you want. Over to the hotel. Come with me. Good night, ladies. It's all right. I know everything, and it doesn't make any difference.
What are you talking about?
No explanations. I'll only be attached for a while, and well, you know. Sadder but wiser girl for me.
Please make your selection and leave.
I have.
Well, what do you want to take out?
The librarian. You're not listening, Marion. Look. Marion. Marbles. 6 Steelies, 8 Aggies, a dozen Kiwis, and 1 big Lassie with an American flag. I think I'll drop it.
No!
Madam Librarian. What can I do? My dear, to make it clear, I love you madly, madly, Madam Librarian. Marion, heaven help us. The library caught on fire. The volunteer homes brigade men whisper the news to Marion. Madam Librarian. What can I say? My dear, to make it clear, I need you badly, badly, Madam Librarian. Marion, if I stumbled and I busted my whatchamacallit, I could line your floor unnoticed, while my body had turned to Marion. Madam Librarian. Now in the moonlight, Amanda singing. In the moonlight, the fellow would know that his darling had heard every word of his song. In the moonlight, nothing wrong. But when I try in here to tell you, dear, I love you madly, madly, Madam Librarian. Marion, it's a long lost cause. I can never win with a civilized world except as some forgivable sin. And you talking aloud with any librarian, such as Marion. Madam Librarian. Ladies and Dance Committee meets Tuesdays. Marshmallow? virtuoso.
Not sure if I understand you entirely, Professor.
What I'm trying to say is, if your boy has the same firm chin and those splendid cheek muscles, by George! Not that he could ever really be great, you see, but...
Oh, is that so? And in the name of St. Bridget, why not?
Well, you see, all the great cornet players were Irish. O'Clark, O'Mendez, O'Brien...
But, Professor, we are Irish.
Really? That clinches it. Sign here, Mrs. Peru. You boy was born to play the cornet. Thank you. That will be $7 earnest money. Nothing more due until the first installment of band practice. Thank you. Oh, I'll need the boy's measurements for his uniform.
His uniform.
Hello, son.
Would it have
A stripe? Certainly, my boy. A wide red stripe on each side. What do you think of that?
Professor, we can't get him to say 3 words a day, even to us. So if you get him to play in the band, it would be a miracle. Where are you from, Professor?
Gary, Indiana. In fact, Gary Conservatory was my alma mater.
Was she now?
Gold medal, class of '05. Hello, Miss Brew.
Mr. Hill,
He wants to put Winthrop in the band.
do you burst in on everyone's home like this?
Marion.
We're not interested.
Now, why not let the boy's father decide?
The boy's father is dead. Anything else?
Professor, I do hope you'll excuse Marion. She's not really...
Please. I'm sure that at heart, she's as lovely as yourself. Good day to you, Mrs. Peru.
Good day to you, Professor. Marion Peru.
Has he gone?
I hope not forever. Darling, did you ever think of your future? Gary, Indiana, conservation class about 5. I'm darling.
Now, Mama, the fact that he claims his commodity is music does not, in this particular case, impress me.
All right, darling. All right. Only it's a well-known principle. If you keep the flint in one drawer, steel in another, you'll never strike much of a fire.
Mama! Winthrop, I know you're in there. Please go to the library and ask Miss Grubb for the book I set aside. It's the Indiana State Journal, Educational State Journal, 1890 to 1910. It's a large brown volume with black corners.
Do I have to?
You won't have to say a word to anyone. I've written it all down.
Now, what are you up to? Why do you need books at this hour of the night?
I have a feeling the Indiana Journal may help me poke some large holes in the professor's claims.
Zanita, hey Zanita, meet me after supper.
Meet you where?
The footbridge.
Last time the lumberyard and now the footbridge? Where are we gonna meet after that? The Black Hole in Calcutta? Egad. Tommy, it's Papa!
Didn't I say, get that spellbinder Harold Hill's credentials? I said in the morning of July 4th, 1912.
Yes, George, but...
And now the whole school bird singing upstream and down alley instead of tending to sing matters.
Mayor Shin, I found something very interesting in this book about Professor Hill's alma mater.
Is who?
His university?
Oh, I know all about that. In fact, that's the only thing I can ever get out from Gary Conservatory class of '05.
If you'll just take some time to read about the conservatory, you won't have to look much further. It's on page 5.
Papa, the Wells Fargo wagon's just coming up from the depot.
At this hour of the day, the Wells Fargo wagon.
It could be the band instruments.
Band instruments? I want that man's credentials!
Oh, the Wells Fargo wagon is coming down the street. Oh, please let it be for me. Oh, the Wells Fargo wagon is coming down the street. I wish I knew what it could be.
I got a box of maple sugar on my birthday. In March I got a green macaron. And once I got some grapefruit from Tim
You will each receive individual instruction in due order. In the meantime, stay off the streets, get acquainted with your instruments, and think of the minuet in G. La-di-da-di-da-di-da-di-da.
La-di-da, la-di-da. Sister, I've never seen anything so scopus gold thing. Oh, sister.
Round one for you, Mr. Hill. But I better some by gad tooting out of those ones in great short order. I'll see you in front of the grand jury. Now, Miss Mary, about that book.
I'm George.
Hold on, I gotta get something from the library.
One Grecian urn, 2 Grecian urns, and a fountain. Now remember, ladies, always keep your faces to the audience.
Please, kids. Mr. Shin will have my head.
Mr. Washburn, we're entitled to 5 more minutes.
You think you can hold these kids back? Go ahead.
Start her up, Mr. Washburn. Wait till you see the new dance Mr. Hill taught us.
All right. What'll it be?
The Shapoopies.
Shapoopies!
Now, a woman who kissed on the very first date is too jolly a hussy. But a woman who kissed on the second time out is anything but fussy. But a woman who waits till the third time around, head in the clouds, feet on the ground, she's the girlie's gladys now. She's shovel, shovel, shovel.
The girl is marked again,
Shovel, shovel, shovel.
but you can't win her yet. Shapoopy, 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 the girl who's hard to get. Shapoopy, 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 but you can't win her yet. You can't win her yet. Shapoopy!
Mr. Shin, Your Honor. Your daughter and I are going steady behind your back. We'd rather do it in front of your back, but
I'm going to warn you once more.
Now, George.
Not one poop at you, madam.
I think he means peep.
You know why? You know why I see ran all over you? Reform's gonna get out, you wild kid.
Papa, please! It's Cappy looks like you make blood in the marketplace. Eat cat!
You watch your phraseology, young woman. Go home.
Mr. Mayor, I want you to know I'm vouching for Tommy Giles. I think he has the confidence of every kid in town. You will be waiting in line to take his hand by the time our band plays its first concert.
By the time your band plays its first concert, the individual members will have to foregather in wheelchairs on account of the broken legs they'll get from tripping over their beards. I'll tell you something, my fine young feather, never mind. JC, Ewart, Owen, Oliver, I want this man's references and I want him tonight. Don't let him out of your sight. He's slippery in a Mississippi sturgeon.
Professor Hill, I think Mayor Shin has behaved abominably probably. And I think it was wonderful of you coming to Tommy's defense.
A man can't dodge issue every time a little personal risk is involved. What does the poet say? Let's say, a coward dies 1,000 deaths. A brave man, only 500.
I just wish I was a little more informed. I've been wanting to talk to you about Winthrop's cornet.
His cornet, mother of pearl keys.
I'm sure it's fine. He tells me about some think system. If he thinks the minuet in G, then he won't have to bother with the notes. Now, Professor...
Miss Mary, the think system is a revolutionary new method. Now, I cannot discuss these things here in public, but if you allow me to call, when may I call?
Why, any night this week.
Pick a little, talk a little, pick a little, talk a little, cheep, 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 talk a lot, pick a little more, pick a little, talk a little, pick a little, talk a little, cheep, 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 talk a lot.
Please join us, Elsa Arlene. You were so dear today. Please on ship with me with Professor Kell.
Cheep, 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 take a fairy princess. Cheep, cheep, for your flock, your golden shower, your hair, and silver shoes are all to see. Look at all you, pick a little, cheep, 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 take a lot, pick a little more here. We're winning the heart. Cheep, 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 cheep. Fairy princess, moon before, golden shimmer, silver shoes. Now unfold, heart of gold. Here, where woman's heart should be. The professor told us to read those books, and we simply adore them all. Chaucer, Rowling, Balzac.
Mama!
Winthrop, where have you been?
Fishing
Fishing.
with Hill. He told me all about his hometown, Gary, Indiana. And he even said he'd take me there someday. He even told me a song that hardly has any S's in it. Gary, Indiana, Gary, Indiana, Gary, Indiana. Let me say it once again. Gary, Indiana, Gary, Indiana, Gary, Indiana. That's the town that knew me when. If you'd like to have a logical explanation, how I have been on this elegant single mission, I will say without a moment of hesitation, there is just one place that can light my face. Gary, Indiana, Gary, Indiana, not Louisiana, Paris, France, New York, or Rome, but Gary, Indiana, Gary, Indiana, Gary, Indiana, my home sweet home. Hold on a minute, I gotta go show Amaranth my live vlog. La-dee-da-dee-da-dee-da, la-dee-da, la-dee-da.
Leave the dishes. I'll do them, Mama.
You the piano teacher in town?
Why, yes.
Then you must know about this fellow, Hill, forming a boys band around here.
Yes?
Well, don't let it worry you no more. I got the goods on him in spades. I'm just passing through. Number 8 only makes a 15-minute water stop.
Who are you?
Charlie Cowell, Anvil salesman. But, just now, I'm on to protect the good name of the traveling fraternity from this swindler.
Mr. Cowell, you're making a big mistake.
Mistake my old lady's corset cover. He's been the raspberry seed in my wisdom tooth for long enough. He spoiled Illinois for me, and he's not gonna spoil Iowa. Say, what kind of music teacher are you? You didn't see through him? He's no more professor.
Oh, I know all about that. Band leaders are often called professors. It's a harmless deception. He's a fine director and a scholastic...
Wait a minute. Fine director? Have you heard a note of music from any band?
No.
But nothing, girly girl. He hasn't formed a band in his life, and he never will.
You'll never make the train to the depot. You have to catch it at the crossing.
But I gotta leave word about that fellow Hill with somebody, and I can see you ain't the one to leave it with.
I never met a man who sells anvils before. That's something, well, quite different.
Takes a real salesman, I can tell you that. Anvils have a very limited appeal. Wait, what am I doing? If I miss that train, I'll lose my job. But I gotta leave word about that fellow Hill with somebody.
Leave word with me.
Not your tin type. You know he's got a girl in every county in Illinois, right? And that's 102 counties. Not including the piano teachers he cozies up to keep their mouths shut. Neither one of you have heard the last of me, curly girl.
Marion, who was you talking to just... Why, Professor Hill.
Mrs. Peru, good evening. Miss Marion.
Why don't you and Marion come up instead? I've got some jelly on the stove.
There's no jelly on the stove, Mama.
Well, I'll put some on.
Shall we set, as your mother said?
Well,
You did ask me to call.
Professor Hill, is it true that you've... What I'm trying to say is, I must be very dull company for a man of your experience.
Now say, where did you get an idea like that?
One hears rumors of traveling salesmen.
Miss Marion, you mustn't believe everything you hear. After all, one of you hears rumors about librarians.
I suppose you're referring to Uncle Matty?
Uncle Natty?
Mr. Madison, my father's best friend. No matter what they say, he left me a sure job so Mother and Winthrop and I would have some security. Surely you don't believe...
Of course not. That's what I'm trying to say. Why do you think people start those rumors?
Narrow-mindedness, jealousy mostly, I guess.
Exactly. And jealousy mostly starts rumors about traveling salesmen. What have you heard?
Just that, but of course it stands to reason that jealousy and narrow-mindedness... I mean, take you, for instance, your attentions to customers, and while teachers may easily be misinterpreted, might they? I mean, now honestly, might they?
Why?
And so you say, if another salesman or someone were jealous, they could be downright lies, couldn't they?
What could?
Rumors and things.
Why, of course.
It just proves you should never believe everything you hear. I mean, if you discuss things...
Miss Marion, I would be delighted to discuss anything in the world with you. But couldn't we do it sitting down? Your knees do bend and all.
We could sit on the porch steps?
We could also sit on a large hollow log over the footbridge.
I couldn't think of it. I've never been to the footbridge with a man in my life.
Just to talk. We'd be there in 15 minutes.
I just can't. Please, some other time, maybe tomorrow.
My dear little librarian, pile up enough tomorrows, and you'll find you've got nothing but a lot of empty yesterdays. I don't know about you, but I would like to make the day worth remembering. Footbridge, 15 minutes.
15 minutes? Mama!
What?
I just told Professor Hill I'd meet him at the footbridge in 15 minutes.
Glory be, the saints be praised, it works.
What works?
I've been using the big system on you from the parlors.
Greg, the uniforms of the rock. The kids are already in them. People are going to be screaming if those kids still look sociable.
Yeah.
Here's most of the dough. I got Thomas to collect it. He's pretending to hold practice over at the lumberyard, trying to keep the kids together at least.
All right, go to the rig.
I got it.
What time does the pig go?
9:30 at the junction.
It's not even 8:30 yet.
Look, you want to turtle weirdo around here and get yourself caught in a money trap? You go ahead, but...
Don't worry. I'll meet you at the hotel in plenty of time. Miss Marion, you're late.
But you said 15 minutes.
Well, what I meant to say was you're about 26 years late. It took you all this time to get to the footbridge with the fella.
If you want to know the truth, it was almost longer.
Oh?
Halfway here and nearly turned back. I suppose I'm not the first to find it easier to think clearly when not under the spell of your salesmanship.
Miss Marion, surely you don't believe I've been trying to sell you anything.
No, you've given me something. That's why I came.
I don't recall giving you anything.
Yes, you have. Something beautiful. That's why I came, and I'm glad. Please don't be afraid that I expect too much more. One can't expect a traveling salesman to stay put. I know there have been many ports of call, and there will be many more. But that's no reason for me not to be grateful for what you will have left behind for me.
Marion,
There were bells on the hill, but I never heard them ringing. No, I never heard them till there was you. There were birds in the sky, but I never saw them winging. No, I never saw them till there was you. And there was music, and there were wonderful roses. They tell me in sweet, fragrant meadows of dawn and dew. There was love all around, but I never heard it singing. No, I never heard it at all till there was you. There was love all around, but I never heard it singing. No, I never heard it at all till there was you.
Marion, there's a lot of things you don't know about me.
Hey, Greg.
Excuse me, I'm expecting a cable from Hector Burbois. This could be it. Now what?
Who's the salesman here? Looks like she's selling and you're buying.
You nuts! I didn't know I'm going to be able to get out of here tonight. I told you I had to keep her off balance, didn't I?
Well, now she's so far off balance you can't tell her from a catboat in a hurricane.
Go get the ring. Now then, where were we?
You were about to tell me what I don't know about you?
Oh, yeah, well, we don't have to get into that now, do we?
No, we don't. Or ever, for that matter, Harold. The librarian hasn't felt much like doing research lately, but she did plenty when you first came here.
Oh, about what?
About Professor Harold Hill, Gary Conservatory of Music, Gold Medal class of 05. Harold, there wasn't any Gary Conservatory in 05.
Well, there certainly was.
Because the town wasn't even built until 06. Must be insatiable.
You knew the entire time?
Since July 7th, 3 days after you came. I tore this page out of the Indiana Journal. It was originally intended to use against you, but now I'll give it to you with all my heart.
But if you knew, why didn't you? Why, you little...
Greg, this guy's crazy. He's going all over town spilling everything.
I'll say I'm crazy. I missed my train, I probably lost my job, and I tell that music teacher all about you. And what'd she do? She lollygags me around till I couldn't get to shit. But I got you now, Hill, and you'll pay.
Get out of here, you dirty mouth.
You big bully! If you blow off, I'll stay in this town till you get yours up, down, through, and sideways. Why, you never even knew the territory.
Greg, introduce your stuff. The reason album. Come on, hurry up.
Grecian urns. 2 Grecian urns. And a fountain.
Stop! Listen to this man.
You gullible green grass goats! Can't you get it through your heads? There's a burglar in the bedroom while you're fiddling in the parlor. I'm talking about Harold Hill. Road agent, highwayman, pickpocket.
Pickpocket?
Same thing. He's had his hands in your wallets, mister, and yours, madam, and yours, little lady, since the day he arrived at this town. And there is more documented evidence than you'll ever have time to read. There isn't any band, there never has been any band, and there never will be any band. And if you don't hunt this man down right now, like a mad dog, there won't be any Harold Hill either. He'll be on the next train out of town.
Now will you believe me?
Well, what are we waiting for?
I want my money back. Money back? I want his hide.
After him. And when you find him, bring him to the schoolhouse. After him.
Marion, I'm looking for you all over. Where have you been?
Harold, I'm looking for Winthrop. He's run away. Please go, Harold. They're even talking about tar and feathers.
Marion, I had to see you.
It's all right. Don't you know that? You don't owe me a word, not a word. Now please go.
Greg, he isn't anywhere around here.
Let's drive down by the green.
Yeah!
Winthrop!
Wait a minute here, son.
I'm the new son. Leave me go.
Not until I talk to you for a minute.
I wouldn't listen. You won't tell the truth anyway.
Would you?
Would not.
Wouldn't you? I'll tell you anything you want to know.
Can you lead a band?
No.
Are you a big liar?
Yes.
Are you a dirty, rotten cook?
Mm-hmm.
Leave me go, you big liar.
What's the matter with you? You wanted the truth, didn't you? No one figured you, and you're going to get it all, so you might as well quit wiggling. There's 2 things you're entitled to know. 1, you're a wonderful kid. I thought so from the first. That's why I wanted you in the band. Just so you'd quit moping around feeling sorry for yourself.
What band?
I was the first band kid.
What's the other thing I'm entitled to know?
Well, the other thing isn't any of your business now that I think about it.
I should never come to River City.
No, you don't, Winthrop.
Sister, do you believe him?
I believe everything he ever said.
But he promised us.
I know what he promised us, and it all happened just like he said. The lights, the flags, and the colors, and the symbols.
But where was all that?
In the way every kid in this town walked around here all summer and looked and acted. Especially you. And the parents, too. Does Mama wish he'd ever come to River City?
Well, you do, don't you?
No, Winthrop. Now go, Harold, please.
Go on, Professor. Hurry up.
I can't go and go.
Why not?
For the first time in my life, I got my foot caught in the door.
Greg!
Greg, they're here. That way. That way.
Go on, Professor. That way, that way.
I told you he's slippery. Virtue has triumphed. The sword of retribution has cut down Professor Harold Hill. And if there are those who are melting tar and collecting feathers, I will not say them nay.
Well, I should think there ought to be some of you who could forget our everlasting I was stubborn, chip-on-the-shoulder arrogance long enough to remember River City before Harold Hill arrived. Do you remember? Well, do you? Surely some of you ought to be grateful to him for what he's brought to River City, and if so, I should think you'd want to admit it.
You're wasting a great deal of time here. If there's a person in this hall who does not wish Harold Hill should be tarred and feathered, please stand up. You literally sit down. Have you even forgotten how you bought expensive uniforms, technical instruction books, and high-priced band instruments? Have you forgotten the clear understanding and warranty that your child will be in a band? Well, where's the band? Where's the band?
Think, kids. Think.
That's my Esther! That was my Esther! Ruth, that's what you were saying today!